So do you feel this beauty way is an answer of many things that are happening right now in the world?
I do, because again, the only way that you can create real beauty is from the heart and from presence and from like
Yes.
honoring Gaia and honoring your body and honoring your spirit. So it's not as much about like what the outside looks like. It's like, oh, I created amazing art, or I created an amazing outfit, or I did a beautiful job on my table and my altar.
Yes.
It's about like what presence of intention is required to create that. What kind of consciousness is required to create that?
Yes, exactly. I was talking with someone the other day, a sister. She was saying, "Oh, it's beautiful your dress," and it's not about the dress. Actually, the dress is the last thing. It's about what has bring the ones that we are dressing that dress that is representing the beauty way and the naturality of no makeup, no nothing. The simplicity too, to wake up people to a way that is their way too. It's our way, like human beings. That's the way of the heart. And so the last thing is the dress, the last thing is the external. The external is just uh, an important part, but after you have understand few things that lands are teaching us. And these lands of Europe too, because Catalonia is really connected with South France, and is where I have grown up, and it's really this way of enjoying life and honoring life. Either if we still see this duality because it's everywhere, and it's part of the teaching too. So that's really beautiful, love. So talks us about your mission, and when you have started to trust your voice. I always say in this moment there is something that I have shared, that is, remember who the fact you are. Remember who are you. In this moment is essential. So yeah, I would love to listen about that. And when you have started to trust your voice, and to walk your path, not the path of other leaders, your path. That's really important in this moment. We can be inspired for others, but that's invitation.
Yeah. I think that's an interesting question. I have a sort of a memory that comes to mind. You talk about your voice, which is so many things. Your voice is your expression, your voice is your art, your voice is your singing voice, your voice is also just like your transmission. Your voice can refer to so many things, but and thinking about my singing voice in particular, because that is such an important way that I share frequency. And I remember being in a cab, in a taxi, like I was like, maybe I was 17. I don't even think I was the legal drinking age. And this was after the bar, drinking with my friends when you're a teenager, right? And I remember there was a song on the radio at the taxi driver, and I wanted so badly to sing. At that point, I'd been in voice lessons and kind of choir, but always kind of like away from my friends or the public or my family. And I just wanted so bad to sing, and I could hardly even like make sound, just because I was so, I guess I was like, just singing in front of my friends. And when I started my spiritual journey, that was like a slow progression. It was very natural and organic, actually, when I just started to sing in front of people. I started just like singing in my room while my roommates were home, and that was like a really big deal for me. And like with that, and with sharing your voice, whatever your voice is, it doesn't have to be your singing voice. I think there's an ownership of your power that's involved, because you know for me, my singing voice was like my soul energy coming out, and it's powerful, and I know that. And not necessarily that it's always sounds perfect or amazing, but it carries a transmission, just like all of our soul voices carry this transmission. And so I think that was really an edge for me, was just claiming and like being seen more in that raw, like when you're singing and when you're vulnerable, you're not in your personality. You can't like, you're not even like, you can't cover things up. It's just so vulnerable. So yeah, even just singing in front of, like, not even in front of my roommates, they were just home, and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm doing this. And then that, like just singing, you know, jamming in front of like campfires, you know, in this oceanside community that I went to with a bunch of surfers. And I think just the artistic energy and the ocean energy and the surfing energy just really brought out this, like, it's okay, like just sing. And from there, from that, like my leadership started to come out more and eventually go into this place where I realized how connected, I always knew I was connected to the ocean, but when I was like, oh my gosh, this is like my song and my voice that has really come out of me while I've been living next to the ocean with all these whales, you know, passing by, is so key to my mission. And then realizing like I'm here to actually be a bridge for the whales and the dolphins and the ocean and the water. And that,
This is
you know,
really beautiful, love.
yeah.
This
So
is really beautiful. This is really beautiful. And he's really, in some ways, similar to my path. I have grown up in Europe, so I have been close to the sea always. And this call of the ocean has been really powerful. And like you said, you know, and how the ocean is inviting us to express, because it's ma, you know,
yeah.
is the big mother, you know, inviting us to all these beings, you know. All these beings are there to inviting us to sound. Actually, all them are inviting us to sound. In my case, I have been more with sharks, a lot of with mama sharks and with sharks. It's part of the medicine. And I'm writing right now a book that is already finished, that is all related to sharks and whales, but more sharks because it's a medicine that I'm bringing with legal voice and legality, all that is related to legal rights, and how to beautifully, like you were saying, allowing this voice that is unique in each being, and that they are so beautifully representing through play and through mothership, like the whales, and through true authority that are the sharks, you know, to bring this voice, you know, that represents the uniqueness of the soul. It's really beautiful that you already, and you have say yes to this path, because many people is scared. We're gonna talk about the ocean and how this call is so powerful, but it brings a lot of death, you know, this path of water. So I would love to know a little bit about how has been your path, surely, you know, also in connection with death, because I feel that's one of the teachers of the ocean.
Yeah, that's an interesting way of putting it. I feel like I've been in such a like constant death journey for like actually like more
That's why I ask you this, you know.
like it's just wild times. And yeah, it was Morea, French Polynesia, the islands of Tahiti, that really like brought me into this big kind of death and rebirth portal that I think I'm still in, to be honest. That was maybe a year and like a half ago. And
Yes.
I think to be okay, this is like kind of a different direction, but it all like flows together with water, because in my
Yes.
kind of just like wow, I like got just like hit and like flatlined in my life, like just had to go back to stay with my parents in Canada for a while because I just literally couldn't function. My body was falling apart, and it was very much like felt like I was dying. I was not, but I, you know, was dramatic and felt.
You was dying, sure.
And learned is like how I'm really in this right now, wanting to like study this, but how water herself like functions in our organs, and how our womb and our kidneys in traditional Chinese medicine are the areas that are our water organs and our yin essence and the deep feminine.
Yes.
And
Yes.
when we like deplete those areas, which like all of us do on some level, because it's so ingrained in our society to just keep going and keep going and keep going. And, you know, on my journey, that was traveling. Before that, it was like addiction to plant, like to weed, you know, like in my 20s, just like I don't want to go to bed. I don't want night. I'm just going to smoke a joint and make art, you know, keep going. Even if you have the best of intentions, that eventually that lack of honoring of the water organs, like the kidneys, which are like the battery pack of the body, the feminine storehouse.
Yes.
If we
Mm-hmm.
we will die. We will, and this would happen to me, like we will like have a come to Jesus moment, come to water moment, where it's like you have to, the only way that like I feel like I'm gonna be like actually fully rebirthed is to come to water, my yin essence. The colors associated with the kidneys are black and blue as well. So it's like this kind of death journey that's like brought me to face, okay, what are the qualities of water and how can you resurrect yourself through really being present with the yin and the water. And yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at right now. When you ask me that, I'm like, well, this is coming up for me.
Yes, love is. Yes, I asked this question because I know that, and because of walking the path, you know, like I was sharing with a sister the other day about this dressing that is coming, that is related to your conversation. It's not about any appearance. This path should be walk, and like you are talking from experience, you know, and what you have experienced through death. And with water, it comes together. It comes together. It's not separated. Actually, there are different layers. If you go into the ocean, different layers. I love to do underwater submarine with sharks, and if you go, it's really dark. You know, it's really dark, really dark. So and then we have different layers of different water until arrive to the crystalline waters of Caribbean, Morea. All these waters are turquoise waters that are really gentle and really lightly, and then you have the deep waters, you know. So I really love to listen from you, because I know you have embodied that, and that's why I was asking you, because that's a true one of the true embodiments of water love. And as soon you learn to die is more like okay, death time, you know, and you go through and you do the thing, you know, and then you rebirth, you know, and then you die and you rebirth. That's why water is so important right now. I would love to ask you something. I feel the water being, so the people that is representing water is really important right now, like leaders. And I say again, for anyone that don't like this word, leader is the one that is walking the talk. She's saying and she's walking, you know. It's not just, and for that could be an example, because has experience, that has walked, has embodied. So why you feel is really important in this moment. We're gonna open the conversation, because I love to serve people, and in each conversation and with each leader, what you feel is important, the teaching of water in this moment, for this earth that is in many fires, and people has anger, that is has been no work on it, you know. I'm gonna translate in Spanish for the ones that they don't speak English. Later on, I'm gonna do a synthesis. Okay, thank you, love.
Yeah. Water. Well, water is flow, and I feel like, and this like relates to the beauty way, right? Because so much of our culture, especially in Western society, there's so many, oh my God, there's so much rigidity. Like, even like I joke a little bit, because like I'm, you know, wanting to settle and find my spot to live, but like I say, like, I'm like a dolphin swimming through the sea, and I keep being stopped for my papers and ask, like, I need papers to go to the this other part of the sea, and I can only be in that other part of the sea for 3 months, and then I have to leave that part of the sea. I'm like, this makes no, like, you can, when you think about it like that, you can feel how much this is like a prison, literally architecture on this planet. Like, imagine a dolphin swimming and then being stopped by other dolphins being like, no, 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 where are your papers? It's crazy. And then like, oh, stayed in this section of the ocean for longer than 3 months. We've got to put you in dolphin jail. That would be like ludicrous, but that's literally what's happening on this planet. And I feel like water is that like power of flow and freedom and emotional freedom, and we have to just bust through this bullshit in this prison system that's literally like that is happening. And how are we going to do that? All we have to embody the water, because the water is free. The water goes everywhere. The water is in the sky. The water is deep in the earth. The water is in our body. The water knows no boundaries. The water knows no, like, there's no rigidity at all in water. And so when we forget the waters of our body, our spirit, we are much more easily manipulated into thinking that all of this is normal when it's not. It's not at all. It's so crazy. So that's just like one aspect I think that is coming up for me right now. And the more of us that really feel water, embody water, honor water, flow with water, our resonance is going to be too free to sustain this system anymore. Just the energy won't be able to, they just won't be. It just won't be able to hold it anymore because we don't support it.
I would love to talk about that. And matrix means mother, actually. And what you're saying, like delphine, dolphins are really honest and really playful too. So the way to explain things are really playful, and at the same time really serious in the background is like, I'm telling you this, and at the same time it's really, this is happening. And so I love to feel and to see things that are happening right now, but at the same time I feel that some of us, we are bridges between the old and the new. We really know how to surf, the waves. And like, I don't know, what you were saying is the truth. And at the same time, what I'm seeing is the change comes from inside, It not comes from outside, It comes from inside. It not comes from rejection, because the way to build up the new is a way to create bridges, bridges between the old and the new. And that's a teaching that I'm embodying right now here. I won't be in Europe instead, So I love, and I have asked you about water because I feel who has embodied water and who is embodied water, they are true embodiment of the new leadership, of the new earth. I would say new age because I have been living not a lot in the new age, but yes, in the new earth. I have grown up there. So the true embodiment of water is really important because also brings compassion and brings other things, flexibility, like you have said so well, and brings also the release of rigidity, all structures that are not really holding truth, holding love. And at the end, if we are build up the new, we are the builders of the new. The main thing is love. The main thing is love. It's not about peace and love, and it's about love, love, how to hold love, in relations, in life, also with people that are not wake up right now. That's the thing. That's why I'm saying that we know what's happening, but we are the ones building the new, and some of us, we are the bridge between the old and the new. And water, I feel, has a protagonism there. The ones that truly in these years We have been embodying all the initiations of water, and dying and rebirthing and dying and rebirthing and dying and rebirthing and dying and rebirthing, Because one of the big things in people, what it is, they are scared of death, They are really scared of death. What is death for you, Beth?
Death for me is, I have this kind of phrase that I just say from within, and it's like one thing becomes another in the realm of the mother. So I'll say that again. One thing becomes another in the realm of the mother. So for me, like when I feel death, it's like death of any kind. It could be death of the physical body, but just death of our ego. Like going
Yes, of course. Mm-hmm.
to this like dark abyss of the ocean, but then it's like you move through a portal into something else. One thing becomes another in the realm of the mother. So death is really just a bridge, like you said, like a bridge from one thing to another. But I feel that there is a return to the black, the void, which is where we are birthed for, like, death, right? Death becomes rebirth. So that gateway
Yes.
is Divine Mother's womb.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
super beautiful. I love that. I love that. That's amazing, love. I'm just sticking in your words, because all that we are doing here are transmissions, So, hmm. And what about you and the dolphins? You are really concentrated right now in the dolphins. I know you have been in other moments more concentrated in different things, Blu-ray, but right now dolphins are calling. So I would love to listen from you. What is the call of the dolphins,
So the dolphins are our family. The dolphins are so genetically, like, our DNA is so similar to dolphins. And even in the womb, when a dolphin and a baby human are, like, fetus are both forming, there's a lot of the time that they actually look identical, and it's just more towards the end that one grows legs and one grows a tail. And we really, like, we split in our evolution, and we became dolphins and we became humans, and we walked side and we swam and walked side by side as one family, and very connected. And humans have largely forgotten that, and yet when anyone sees a dolphin, we're overcome with joy and interest and like, desire to connect. Like, it doesn't matter who, it could be like the most, like, business person, not spiritual, but if you put them on a boat and go see dolphins, they're gonna be like, oh my god, dolphins. Like, and this shows us, this is telling us, pointing us to this ancient relationship. Now, the dolphins never forgot. Like, the dolphins never really, like, they've had their issues and they've had their traumas, especially from us, but by and large, like, they've never forgotten. They've never really fallen in consciousness like we have, and so they've remembered, and they've held this um, pillar of light. They've been holding our light when we haven't been able to hold our light, right? So they've been holding while we've gone through hell in the hell realms, and are still going through that, this planet, but shifting every day and waking up every day. And they've been holding what was always ours to hold, so that they can give it back when we're ready. And if they I don't know what would have happened.
They're waiting for us, They are waiting for us.
Yeah.
Like.
And I think that we wouldn't be, like, here if the dolphins haven't been so of service to us and so connected in family and like really to here, like, in our evolution. I think we would have blown ourselves up a long time ago. Light, and they're also gritting, like where they're swimming and how they're vocalizing. They're just constantly gritting this planet with it and calling in the new like energies. So they're doing a lot. And there's many of us that are of the water and of that lineage that have come and incarnated as humans and are here to help humanity awaken to that connection, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And that's beautiful. Yeah, I really feel them. I have feel them in the last time. It was more concentrated in whales and sharks. A lot of the sharks, the mama sharks, the father sharks, understanding the sharks, coming 25 meters underwater with the sharks, preparing myself for the sharks, and understanding also the whales. But the dolphins, I feel in this time, they have colors because they bring in a medicine that is really needed right now. That is the true embodiment of life and joy.
Yeah.
And also the simplicity of all of the community of share with others. They have this community way, that is really important in this moment. And I love what you have said related to the dolphins actually, and the connection that I feel is not a connection. You are a human embodiment of dolphin, and I'm a human embodiment of water being, and that's why we are here right now, opening the voice, and invite people to express their feelings. And in this moment that many people, they are shut up, because the water inside is not alive. We're going to talk for this last part of this conversation. I want to honor the time. And water alive is so important.
Yeah.
Why the waters alive are so important.
Because we are water. We're literally, our bodies are water. Like, we're literally starlight consciousness dropped into a water body. So not a lot of people know. It's becoming a little bit more like inner awareness, but still not a lot of people know that, like, what the difference between structured and unstructured water is. And so for those of you who don't know, structured versus unstructured water. Structured, the molecules of oxygen and hydrogen that form water, when it's structured, which is like spring water or water in nature, are in a really beautiful geometric formation. They're just really formed and they come together so beautifully. And then unstructured water is when those same molecules get actually like chaotic, and there's no real cohesive geometry when how
Harmony.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So most people on the planet are drinking unstructured water. Water becomes unstructured when it gets forced through taps, becomes unstructured when it sits for like water is not really meant to sit. Water is always flowing, right? Even in a pond that looks semi-still, it's always moving, even if it's just gently in the sunshine, getting the earth's frequency. So when we're drinking this unstructured water, some people call it dead water, but for me, water's never dead. Like, water's never dead. So I would not call it dead water, but it's like sleeping water, or it's like confused water, right? And
I love that. Yes. Confused water, sleeping water. I love that. Yes. So, mm, mm. Yeah, this is an invitation actually to everyone that will listen to this live later, many people, to recognize what kind of water is in your life, what kind of water is around you. One kind of water also lives inside of you. I feel these beautiful animals, like you say, they have no fall, so they have this, they steal, and they're gonna steal, because they are here to really calling us home, to recognize what kind of water also lives in you, because they are the representation of this aliveness, you know. Like you said, in them there is no dead water. There is the representation in the body, embodiment of the aliveness, you know, of the aliveness, the mothership, the protection, you know, that takes that life force energy that you can see in sharks so straight, you know, and dolphins, you know.
Yeah.
And so this is an invitation. I was asking you because many people, they don't know that. And many people also, of course, they follow me. They know that. They follow you. They know these, but many people, they don't know, you know. And it's really important for the next 5-10 years, this that you are sharing and this that I'm sharing, you know, it's truly the embodiment, you know, of what we are, 70%. And you was doing the explanation of the motto, you know, that is really the harmony in sound, because at the end, all is sound, all is frequency, all is connect with that, you know, with harmony or disharmony, you know.
Yeah.
This is from the scientific perspective, more straight. So I would love to close with a message of dolphins that maybe it's coming. I love dolphins' energy, and we would love to listen from you. And maybe I can give a message from sharks, because right now that's what I'm doing. You know, it's really connect with them, sharks, and all this legality part. You was talking about papers, so that's my specific vocal embodiment. Also, we support with everything that is related to legality. That's shark energy, and so I would love to listen from you and from them. And I start to laugh because I can feel it's so much fun always, you know, and so much to learn from them, so much to learn. Yes.
Yeah. Well, the message that I feel coming from the dolphins right now is to reach out in your consciousness to them. It's not so much in this moment what I'm getting from them is like something they want to teach. It's something that they want to be in a relationship with you. And you know, they share like not a lot of people are doing that. Not a lot of people are actually reaching out and saying, I call upon the dolphin pods of Gaia. I call upon, you know, whatever dolphin pods of Gaia wish to connect with me right now. I'm going to meditate with you, or I'm going to, you know, send a blessing to you, and also receive and like create your own relationship with these beings, that you do it in a similar way than you'd reach out to someone like Archangel Michael or Mary Magdalene, you know, in your meditation practice or your prayer practice or your journal practice. And these beings are guiding us to God, to Mother, Father, God. It's not a substitution for your connection to God. It's an amplification of connecting with beings who have a very strong embodiment of Mother, Father, God's love in their bodies and in their hearts. And really the difference between reaching out to a dolphin and someone like Archangel Michael, or you know, it's like the dolphins are physical on this planet, and they understand what it's like to have a physical body at this time in the earth where things are very dense still. And you know, that's shifting, you know, every moment of every day it's getting a little bit less and less dense. But that's why I just find they're such incredible mentors and beings to reach out to, because they've literally embodied Christ consciousness in a physical body at this time on the planet, which is a huge feat. Like that's a huge feat right now to be able to do. And they do it. So it's like, why is everyone not like studying with them? I don't know, because they forgot. But you know, that's just the messages. Reach out, connect with us. We have so much to share directly with you, you know, if you reach out to us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yes, I can feel that love. Not everyone has that receptivity already. Let's be patient with people, you know, and see what's going on. I feel dolphins, whales, sharks will be part of the next years, you know, 5-10 years of transition, you know, really protagonists of this transition, really masters, not replacing, like you were saying, God, I'm the mother, but just representing an extension of them, and how to truly embody truth, how to truly embody truth. And thank you so much for the message. Hope you can receive this message that I'm going to translate in Spanish now. And but before, I want to share a little bit about sharks and the importance of these animals and how they are here to teach us through authority. And don't be scared of authority, really are the embodiment of authority underwater. And it's an embodiment that is through presence. True presence, is the true presence that is allowing the other beings to organize and have structure. And so the invitation of sharks in this moment is, don't be scared of structure. When this structure is listening, is a structure that is listening, okay? Because they are listening. In the reef, they are listening to other animals, and then they are bringing the divine order and their presence. They don't need to do anything, It's their presence that is bringing this order that is so important for the reef. So, so important for the balance of the reef. So relate to voice, are really connect with the voice, either if they are not singing like dolphins and like whales that are amazing singers, opera singers in the ocean. It's more about presence, and that presence of the voice that is like a sword, of truth, like, this is a truth, boom. And I don't need to talk too much, So that's a medicine of these incredible animals that are really, really important in this moment, representing the masculine energy, the whales and the dolphins. Dolphins are really feminine, masculine. They are really both, and whales is the mothership, but the sharks is the father, is the father energy and body, and the respect and honor that the father brings, and structure to brings the waters to that harmony, that you was talking about, harmony in the structures,
Yeah.
So this is beautiful, love. And I'm going to translate a little bit in Spanish because many people won't understand later. So I'm going to do a synthesis, and with that, we're going to close with 2 words, and we are done with this beautiful life. Entonces vamos a traducir un poquito la parte inicial. Ella estaba hablando muchísimo del océano, de la importancia del agua, de la importancia de la estructura molecular del agua, la armonía en el agua. Esta armonía, ella explicaba que depende de dónde está el agua contenida. Entonces, la importancia de tomar agua que esté viva, porque somos un organismo vivo, 70% agua. Entonces, la importancia de que este agua esté viva, tanto la que bebemos como la que nos rodea. Luego ha hablado también de sus procesos de muerte, cómo ha habido iniciaciones en su vida que la han ido llevando a aprender más del agua, que es un elemento esencial para un nuevo liderazgo que es flexible y escucha. Luego ella ha hablado también de la importancia de los delfines en este momento que ella está representando esta medicina. La medicina de los delfines trae flexibilidad, trae también la capacidad de comunicación. Ella tiene el don del canto, el don de expresar la voz desde ahí. Y también estos delfines nos están enviando un mensaje muy claro en este momento, que es encuerpar una conciencia que ellos ya, una conciencia crística que está en su cuerpo, ¿sí? Son como un ejemplo a seguir, porque ya lo tienen en el cuerpo, ya está encuerpado. En este momento son muy importantes, pero no mucha gente los escucha, ¿no? So I feel that's a synthesis. I love to be really synthetic in the expression of, sometimes it's long, but I take the essence and they can understand you, because I feel this conversation is really important. For the ones that are ready, love, not everyone is ready. And we need to understand that. So we are patient, like dolphins are, like whales are, or animals are waiting for us for many, many centuries. Like humanity, wake up, it's time. And but this conversation is really, really important. We need to be more in contact with water, and honor her, and understand her. It's not just honoring. I was sharing that with a sister. is understanding what she's bringing, and from that place honoring her, yes. So thank you so much for this conversation. We will, my team and me, we will cut the conversation from the moment that we can see your face. Because there was a moment that we was recalibrating the frequency between us or whatever, And so just give us one word about from your heart right now from this conversation and into the people, because at the end we are serving people and we are here for the people, we love people actually. And so what you are bringing from your heart to them, one keyword that comes from Beth, not from Delphins, comes from you.
Okay, trust is the word coming through right now. Yeah.
Beautiful love, and really important in this moment. Someone that is trusting too, truly, really important. Thank you so much, Beth. Hope you see you in few months or 3 months, and you can tell us a little bit more about Delphins if it's possible. I feel this conversation is really needed.
Yeah.
We need more people representing the ocean and representing the voice and representing these beautiful beings that they have. I feel now it's working. Was looking that you was stopping, but no. So thank you so much. Thank you to the dolphins that come with you everywhere you go. And thank you to the sharks that today they wanted to be here expressing too. Thank you to all them, because at the end it's not about us, it's about this beautiful planet, and also the love of our Father that is really, really kind and also sacred, So thank you so much love to the lands of my ancestors. Many, many love and beauty away from here, from beautiful, beautiful place where we are right now. Really beauty too, because Europe has that, And we talk soon, love. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your presence. It's really, really welcome here to this space of La Marembo. Send you so much love. And we will upload the live in 15-20 minutes.
Right.
Then you can see this live during all week and actually forward, because it's going to be uploaded. Send you so much love, my love. Mwah.
Bye.
Bye, love.